Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to explain what is ANZSCO and why does it matter for a New Zealand work visa. So ANZSCO is the job codes for the different jobs in New Zealand. It stands for the Australian and New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations. And why it matters is that to get a visa for New Zealand you need to meet the requirements of your ANZSCO job code. And these requirements, they differ depending on your exact job. So let's give an example. We can just use Google, where you type in ANZSCO, and then we type in your job. So we can type in software engineer. Let's use that as an example. So ANZSCO software engineer, press enter. Any of the top few results should be fine. So we'll go here and we get software and applications programmers, so that just means that's just another name for software engineer. And we come down and we look at the work experience and qualification requirements here. So most occupations in this unit group have a level of skill comparable with a bachelor's degree or higher qualification. So if you want to get a visa to work as a software engineer, you're going to need at least a bachelor's degree. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, you can use 5 years of relevant work experience to substitute for that bachelor's degree. And the experience needs to be relevant, so it could be working as a software engineer or as an assistant or something like that. We'll go back and use another example. So we've got software engineer. Let's try a different one. Let's try carpenter. So ANZSCO carpenter. Any of the top few results will be fine again. I've got carpenters and joiners. Let's go down to the requirements for carpenters and joiners. So we have them here, at least 3 years of relevant work experience, or in Australia and New Zealand, it's a New Zealand registered level 4 qualification. Most people don't really have that qualification, but most people can substitute 3 years of work experience as a carpenter instead. So we'll go back, we'll use another example. We can let's try farm worker. So we have farm worker here. So farm working is actually a job that you can get into pretty easily, and there's no strict qualification requirements for this job. So in New Zealand, a registered level 1 qualification, which is just a really basic certificate, or you've finished secondary school, or just maybe a short period of on-the-job training that might be required. So it's pretty easy to get into, say, farm work, but the more difficult and technical your job is, the higher the qualification requirement. So we'll go back, we'll do one more example. We'll do welder. Pick up results, scroll down to the work experience and qualifications requirements. So for a welder, it's New Zealand registered level 4 qualification, which most people don't have, but you can always substitute 3 years of relevant work experience. So you've worked as a welder for 3 years and you have evidence of that 3 years experience, you can use that. So yeah, you have to understand that if you're going to use work experience to substitute for a qualification, you need to have evidence of that work experience. For example, service letter, pay slips, work pass, any government documents that show that you worked at that job. You can't just claim it on a visa application without any evidence to support it.